1982. It seems a long time ago. It's a sort of former life, I think, of mine. Immediately thinking back to that time, it's how early it was in things. You know, we were trying to discover the secrets of unknown instruments in those days, especially the winds and brass instruments. They were enormously challenging. Now today you find people of huge amount of skill playing on those instruments, but the pioneers had to create the path for this. The challenge of the Brandenburg concertos was absolutely huge, tremendously exciting. You ask what our aesthetic was, and somehow it's a very simple basis. The first basis is to more or less play in time and in tune. Good disciplined playing. And to play with our life spirit, the music. That's the whole basis. Sometimes people get very complicated about these things. Then it's really to try to reflect, what did Bach mean? You know, every Brandenburg concerto was for a different ensemble of instruments. The first Brandenburg concerto with its horns there and the full wind and strings, and the violone grosso was the biggest of those. And then the second one is a more chamber aspect, of course with the very high trumpet as well. The third one, wow, that's a fascinating piece. The third Brandenburg concerto, which is all threes, 3 violins, 3 violas, 3 cellos, and then my beloved basso continuo. And indeed, the basso continuo, that's something like bass, drums and piano in any jazz or light music ensemble. And our function is rather similar. We provide the bass, we provide the chords, and we provide the rhythm. So, third Brandenburg concerto. And ching, 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 the harpsichord is very good at producing this sort of rhythmic thing. Now that must be faster than, as I turned and played that, than in the days when we played this. It was more stately, if I remember rightly. Although I remember we played an enormously fast and light third Brandenburg concerto, third movement to it. Of course, others came along later to play it even faster, which is marvellous, another sort of Olympic thing. The middle movement's interesting because there's not one, just 2 chords. But this gives an opportunity for a player to make a small improvisation, to join to the chords. Sometimes I do that on the harpsichord. On our DG recording, Simon Standage did what I remember as a simply beautiful, tasteful little improvisation which brought us to the chords. The fourth Brandenburg concerto with its recorders and wild violin part is very exciting. You know that Bach arranged that also as a harpsichord concerto. He loved doing arrangements for different forces. Fifth Brandenburg concerto, of course, that's my one, with that great cadenza in it. Of course, he first wrote a short cadenza, which was very, very experimental and chromatic, but then he replaced it with a big cadenza, which he wanted to use, and it completely unbalances the first movement, but it's enormously exciting, and we feel him as a player. And in the sixth Brandenburg concerto, he dispenses with violins altogether and does it with different types of violas. Violas normal, 2 violas, and violas da gamba, and then the continuo of the bass line. And he has good solo bits in the cello too. But then we're left with the bass and the harpsichord on the continuo. What a hugely exciting project that was for 1982.